Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams and with me is Anita Anand with the Midday News. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates new defence complexes in the national capital. Says new defence complexes stand for New India. A two-day meeting of GST Council begins in Lucknow today. President Ramnath Kovind arrives in Himachal Pradesh on a 4-day visit. Gujarat Chief Minister Bhupendra Patel expands his cabinet. 21st meeting of SCO Council of Heads of State to be held in Tajikistan tomorrow. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to address the plenary session of the summit virtually. India administers over 76 crore 57 lakh doses of COVID-19 vaccine. Recovery rate stands at 97.64%. Air India receives financial bids for disinvestment. US, UK and Australia announce formation of AUKUS, a new trilateral security partnership for Indo-Pacific region. As the nationwide free COVID-19 vaccination campaign at government facilities for those above 18 years is underway, we advise our young listeners to get vaccinated and also help others get vaccinated. We also advise our listeners not to lower their guard as COVID-19 remains a threat to our health. Please stay at home unless it is essential to go out and continue to follow these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact national helpline numbers 011-2397-8046 and 1075. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today said new defence complexes stand for a new India and will strengthen the army. Inaugurating the Defence Office complexes at Kasturba Gandhi Marg and Africa Avenue in New Delhi today, the Prime Minister said modern infrastructure played an equally important role by focusing on ease of living and ease of doing business. The Prime Minister added, in the 75th year of the country's independence, the national capital is being developed with modern infrastructure and facilities.
आजादी के 75वें वर्ष में आज हम देश की राजधानी को नए भारत की आवश्यकताओं और आकांक्षाओं के अनुसार विकसित करने की तरफ एक महत्वपूर्ण कदम बढ़ा रहे हैं। ये नया डिफेंस ऑफिस कॉम्प्लेक्स हमारी सेनाओं के कामकाज को अधिक सुविधाजनक, अधिक प्रभावी बनाने के प्रयासों को और सशक्त करने वाला है।
He emphasized this is the idea behind the work that is being done in the development of the Central Vista. The Prime Minister said the work of Defence Office complexes has been completed in a record time of only 12 months as against its scheduled completion in 24 months. He said hundreds of workers got employment in the project during the COVID-19 period.
डिफेंस ऑफिस कॉम्प्लेक्स का भी जो काम 24 महीने में पूरा होना था, वो सिर्फ 12 महीने के रिकॉर्ड समय में कंप्लीट किया गया, यानी 50% समय बचा लिया गया। वो भी उस समय जब कोरोना से बनी परिस्थितियों में लेबर से लेकर लॉकडाउन कितनी सारी कठिनाइयों से बीच हम गुजरे हैं। इन तमाम प्रकार की चुनौतियां सामने थी। कोरोना काल में सैकड़ों श्रमिकों को इस प्रोजेक्ट में रोजगार मिला है।
Defence Minister Rajnath Singh highlighted that the modernization of armed forces and Atmanirbharta in the defence sector is due to the efforts of the Prime Minister.
प्रधानमंत्री जी के प्रति मैं आभार व्यक्त करना चाहूंगा जिनके नेतृत्व में सरकार बनने के साथ ही रक्षा सशक्तिकरण का काम बड़ी तेजी के साथ प्रारंभ हुआ है। चाहे वन रैंक वन पेंशन का काम हो, चाहे सीडीएस की नियुक्ति का प्रश्न हो, चाहे डिफेंस मॉडर्नाइजेशन हो, चाहे डिफेंस एक्विजिशन हो, और रक्षा क्षेत्र में आत्मनिर्भरता के लिए आपके नेतृत्व में किए गए प्रयासों का परिणाम अब धीरे धीरे सामने आने लगा है।
Urban Development Minister Hardeep Singh Puri assured the Prime Minister that next year the Republic Day parade will be at the new Central Vista. The Minister also said next year Parliament will function from the new building.
सेंट्रल विस्टा एवेन्यू जहां पे हम 26 जनवरी की अगले साल की परेड करेंगे, मुझे पूरा विश्वास है कि अगले 2-2.5 महीने के अंदर उस पे काम हम कंप्लीट कर पाएंगे। हमारा इरादा है कि 75th ईयर ऑफ इंडिपेंडेंस में जो विंटर सेशन पार्लियामेंट का होगा वो हम नई पार्लियामेंट बिल्डिंग में करेंगे अगले साल।
The new defence office complexes are state-of-the-art and energy efficient with comprehensive security management measures. The new defence office complexes will accommodate around 7,000 officials of the Defence Ministry and Armed Forces, including the Army, Navy and Air Force. The buildings will provide modern, secure and functional working spaces. An integrated command and control centre has been established for managing building operations.
President Ramnath Kovind arrived in Himachal Pradesh today on a 4-day visit to the state. The President reached Shimla this afternoon, where he was received by the State Governor, Rajendra Vishwanath Arlekar, Chief Minister Jairam Thakur, State Ministers and many other senior officials, besides other dignitaries. Tomorrow, President will address a special session of the Assembly called to commemorate the Golden Jubilee of the statehood. Besides the sitting MPs and MLAs, all the former MLAs have been invited on this auspicious occasion. Over 73 former MPs and MLAs have been given their consent to be part of this mega event. Strict COVID-19 norms are being put in place for all those attending the special session. Chief Minister Jairam Thakur said that it was decided that a special session of the State Vidhan Sabha will be convened to mark the Golden Jubilee year of the statehood. Leader of Opposition Mukesh Agnihotri said this event is above party politics and assured full cooperation to the state government. The President will also address the valedictory ceremony of the Indian Audit and Accounts Service Officers as the chief guest at the National Academy of Audit and Accounts at Shimla on Saturday. The 45th meeting of the Goods and Services Tax GST Council is underway in Lucknow. Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman will chair the GST Council meeting at 11 a.m. in Lucknow tomorrow. The 2-day meet is the maiden physical meet of the GST Council following the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic. Talking to AIR News, Union Minister of State for Finance Pankaj Chaudhary said that the finance ministers from all states will attend the meeting. The 2-day meeting will also be attended by senior officials of the centre and state governments.
The Finance Ministry has said that Air India received financial bids for its disinvestment process. In a tweet, Secretary, Department of Investment and Public Asset Management, Tuhin Kant Pandey said financial bids for Air India disinvestment have been received by the transaction advisor. He said the process now moves to the concluding stage. The new Council of Ministers of Chief Minister Bhupendra Patel in Gujarat has been sworn in today. Governor Acharya Devvrat administered the oath of post and secrecy to the new ministers at Raj Bhavan in Gandhinagar a short while ago. In a big step, BJP has implemented no repeat theory in the new Council of Ministers. Total 10 cabinet ministers have taken oath. 10 ministers of state have also taken oath. These also include 2 women who have got the berth in the new Council of Ministers. The new cabinet ministers who have taken oath are former Speaker of the State Assembly Rajendra Trivedi, Jitendra Waghani, Rishikesh Patel, Purnesh Modi, Raghavji Patel, Kanubhai Desai, Kirit Singh Rana, Naresh Patel, Pradeep Singh Parmar and Arjun Singh Chauhan. The new ministers who have taken oath as the Minister of State are Shri Harsh Sanghvi, Jagdish Panchal, Brijesh Mirja, Jeetubhai Chaudhary, Srimati Manisha Vakil, Mukesh Patel, Srimati Nimisha Sutar, Arvind Rayani, Kuber Bhai Dindor and Kirit Singh Waghela. More from our correspondent.
Looking to the new Council of Ministers, it is clear that BJP has implemented no-repeat theory. This is the first time that no-repeat formula has been implemented in Gujarat in the selection of ministers. BJP has also made social, regional and caste-based balance in the new Council of Ministers. Apart from former Chief Minister Vijay Rupani, former Deputy Chief Minister Nitin Patel, former Education Minister Bhupendra Singh Chudasama, former Revenue Minister Kaushik Patel, former Home Minister Pradeep Singh Jadeja, former Energy Minister Saurabh Patel have been dropped from the new Council of Ministers. Most of the former ministers dropped from the new Council of Ministers have publicly indicated that they are ready to accept the new responsibility, whatever party decides. According to the sources, the first cabinet meeting of the new Council of Ministers will meet this evening. Allocation of portfolios are likely to be finalized by this evening. Yogesh Pandya, AIR News, Ahmedabad.
The Assam government has decided to destroy 2,479 rhino horns. The decision was taken in the cabinet meeting held in Guwahati today in the presence of the Chief Minister. Talking to the media after the meeting, Forest Minister Parimal Suklabedya said that there are 2,623 horns available in the state. He said that out of total horns, 50 numbers are under court cases and the government would preserve 94 horns for various purposes. The minister added that these 94 horns would be kept at Kaziranga Natural History Museum while the rest would be destroyed. Union Minister for Road Transport and Highways Nitin Gadkari carried a site visit and inspection of 8-lane Delhi-Mumbai Greenfield Expressway near Dausa in Rajasthan today. Interacting with the media, the minister said that 1,350 kilometers long expressway is the world's longest 8-lane expressway. He said it is a road of growth and development. The minister informed that 374-kilometer stretch of the expressway passes through Rajasthan. Construction of this section will cost more than 18,000 crore rupees. This corridor will pass through 7 districts of the state including Alwar, Bharatpur, Dausa, Savai Madhopur, Tonk, Bundi and Kota. Special interchange has been developed on this corridor near Dausa, which will connect the expressway with existing Agra-Jaipur highway.
Nitin Gadkari will inspect the under-construction Delhi-Mumbai Expressway near Jaora in Ratlam district of Madhya Pradesh today. The Union Minister will visit Ratlam from Bundi Savai Madhopur in Rajasthan. This expressway will prove to be a boon in the development of Madhya Pradesh. After its completion, many border districts of the state will be able to connect directly with Delhi and Mumbai. With the construction of the expressway, industrial development will be accelerated here and the surrounding districts including Indore, Ujjain will also be able to develop as big transport centers.
You're listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates new defence complexes in the national capital, says new defence complexes stand for New India. A 2-day meeting of GST Council begins in Lucknow today. President Ram Nath Kovind arrives in Himachal Pradesh on a 4-day visit. Gujarat Chief Minister Bhupendra Patel expands his cabinet. 21st meeting of SCO Council of Heads of State to be held in Tajikistan tomorrow. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to address the plenary session of the summit virtually. India administers over 76 crore 57 lakh doses of COVID-19 vaccine. Recovery rate stands at 97.64%. Air India receives financial bids for this investment. US, UK and Australia announced formation of AUKUS, a new trilateral security partnership for Indo-Pacific region. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो कुछ वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे.
आजादी के अमृत महोत्सव के पावन अवसर पर आकाशवाणी समाचार के कार्यक्रम परिक्रमा में 16 सितंबर बृहस्पतिवार को शाम 4:45 पर सुनिए कहानी देश की आजादी की लड़ाई में अपना अमूल्य योगदान देने वाली दुर्गा देवी वोहरा की वीर गाथा.
Welcome back to the Midday News. Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has said that JAM Trinity of Jan Dhan, Aadhaar and Mobile has played a major role for financial inclusion of the people of the country, and it was a game changer for a country like India. She was speaking at the inaugural session of Manthan, the day-long Rashtriya Bank Parishad, being held in Aurangabad through video conferencing today. She said the country could achieve the target of financial inclusion in a particular format, which was futuristic, and it also touched upon the philosophy of Sabka Saath and Sabka Vikas and Sabka Vishwas. She underlined the fact that Jan Dhan Yojana, which intended to reach all those without discrimination in remote areas, all those who hesitated to enter banks. Prime Minister Narendra Modi gave confidence to these people, and everyone saw that because of this foresightedness, every person could receive the help which was needed in the crisis like corona pandemic. Nirmala Sitharaman congratulated Finance Minister of the state, Bhagwat Karad, for this well-represented and well-organized initiative in Aurangabad, and also appealed to others to come out with these type of initiatives in other areas of the country. The day-long meeting is being attended by chairmen and CEOs of 12 nationalized banks in the country. In West Bengal, the number of fever-affected children has been increasing across districts. Malda and Purbo Bardhaman have also reported a large number of children admitted in district hospitals with fever and other symptoms. Over 200 children are undergoing treatment at Malda. More from our Kolkata correspondent.
Amid the fever-related cases on the rise, the State Health Department held a virtual meeting with the principal, CMOH and superintendents of the state-run hospitals and discussed the treatment protocol. The expert committee formed to assess the situation also discussed the diagnostic and treatment protocol along with the protocol for intensive care unit and oxygen therapy. Decision has already been taken to increase the laboratory capacity and to procure test kits to identify different types of respiratory virus. The test will be done at the School of Tropical Medicine in Kolkata and North Bengal Medical College and Hospital in Siliguri. Already influenza type B, RS virus and COVID have been found in the samples collected from Jalpaiguri, where over 90 children are admitted at present. Madhuparna Chaudhuri, AIR News, Kolkata.
India has administered over 76 crore 57 lakh doses of COVID vaccine so far under the nationwide vaccination drive. Union Health Ministry said more than 64 lakh 51,000 vaccine doses were administered in the last 24 hours. The ministry said 38,303 COVID patients recovered during the last 24 hours, and the national recovery rate has reached 97.64%. Till now, more than 3 crore 25 lakh people have recovered from COVID-19. The country reported 30,570 new cases in last 24 hours. Uttarakhand High Court has lifted the ban imposed on Char Dham Yatra with some restrictions. The court has allowed 1,000 devotees in Badrinath, 800 in Kedarnath, 600 in Gangotri and 400 pilgrims in Yamunotri Dham, Delhi. The court has asked every devotee or traveller to carry a COVID-negative report and a certificate of both the doses of vaccine. High Court had asked the state government to issue SOP in this regard. As our nation celebrates the 75th year of independence, a series of events is being organized by the government as part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Let's listen now to our special program Azadi Ka Safar.
आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव।
Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. Birth of a Nation. India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the struggle every day.
On this day in 1904, revolutionary freedom fighter Mahavir Singh Rathore was born in Etah district of Uttar Pradesh. He was first drawn to the freedom struggle when he was studying in class 6. Singh was a member of Naujawan Bharat Sabha. He was the one who helped in the escape of Bhagat Singh, Batukeshwar Dutt and Durga Devi from Mauzang House in Lahore. He was arrested as part of the second Lahore conspiracy case.
Mahavir Singh Rathore took part in the hunger strike of 1933 to protest against the treatment of prisoners. He died during the hunger strike in cellular jail of the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. His father, Devi Singh, had once said, "Knowing that you are fighting for the country proves that we have not accepted slavery from our hearts." Now that you are on the path to freedom, don't look back and never betray your associates.
16th September is also the death anniversary of Tarokeshwar Sengupta. He took part in the Chittagong Armory raid. In the mid-1930s, revolutionary activity in Bengal was at its peak. From the Chittagong Armory raid to the invasion of the Writers' Building, the British Raj was feeling the heat. One of the most daredevil acts organized in the history of the Indian revolutionary movement was the Chittagong Armory raid. On 18th April 1930, a band of 63 people, most of them teenagers led by Surjo Sen, raided the police and auxiliary forces armory in the Chittagong district and liberated it from British control, unfurling the Indian flag. Though the Chittagong revolutionaries failed in their immediate objective, it helped galvanizing youngsters.
The massive police crackdown that followed resulted in many being detained. Some of them being detained at Hajjali Detention Camp near Kharagpur. The Hajjali Detention Camp was a majestic double-storied structure with a tower in the center. The entire campus was secured by double gates and a 10-feet-high wall and barbed wire fencing. Even as escape was considered impossible, 3 did manage to run away. This made the authorities tighten the security.
On September 16, 1931, a group of guards opened fire and cracked the skulls of some prisoners with their rifle butts. Freedom fighters Tarokeshwar Sengupta and Santosh Mitra were shot dead in the tumult. The inmates were shocked, and one of the detainees, Himanshu Bosu, made a pencil sketch of both the victims and sent it to the editor of Anandabajar Putrika. After the report came out, Jyotindra Mohan Sengupta and Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose went to Hajjali to take over the dead bodies. They organized a big procession at Calcutta on their way to the crematorium. Disappointed with the deaths, poet laureate Rabindranath Tagore composed the poem Proshno.
Bhagavan, tumi juge juge doot patahechho bare bare dayahin sansare. Tara bole gelo khama koro sabe. বলে গেল ভালোবাসো অন্তর হতে বিদ্বেষ বেশি নাশো বরণীয় তারা স্মরণীয় তারা তবুও বাহিরে দাঁড়ে আজ দুর্দিনে ফেরানো তাদের ব্যর্থ নমস্কারে.
Do you know the country's first IIT, that is Iit Kharagpur, is built on this detention camp? In 1950, one of the top engineering colleges of India started functioning from 5 Esplanade Kolkata, but later it was decided that they needed a bigger and peaceful location. So they chose a complex at Hajjali that was about 150 kilometers far from Kolkata.
On September 16, 1932, in his cell at Yerwada jail in Pune, Mahatma Gandhi began a hunger strike in protest of the British government's decision to separate India's electoral system by caste. He was in jail after being arrested for the civil disobedience movement he launched after his return from England, where he attended the Round Table Conference. In September 1932, Gandhi announced he was beginning a fast unto death in order to protest the British move to have separate electorate for the downtrodden. Gandhi believed this would permanently and unfairly divide India's society.
That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
This is All India Radio giving you the news.
करोड़ों दिलों में गूंज रही विशेष आवाज,
जिसका वैश्विक मंचों पर चल रहा जादू,
आम आदमी के दर्द से पिघलता है जो दिल,
जिनकी अगुवाई में बना टीकाकरण का रिकॉर्ड।
सुनिए प्रधानमंत्री के जीवन पर विशेष कार्यक्रम कर्मयोगी नरेंद्र मोदी।
100.1 FM गोल्ड सहित आकाशवाणी के अन्य चैनलों पर शुक्रवार 17 सितंबर को सुबह 9:30 पर।
The 21st meeting of SCO Council of Heads of State will be held tomorrow in Dushanbe, Tajikistan in a hybrid format. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will lead the Indian delegation and address the plenary session of the summit through video link. At Dushanbe, India will be represented by External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar. In a statement, External Affairs Ministry said this is the first SCO summit being held in hybrid format and the fourth summit that India will participate as a full-fledged member of SCO. US, UK and Australia have announced the formation of AUKUS, a new trilateral security partnership for Indo-Pacific region. It was announced in a joint address by British Prime Minister Boris Johnson, his Australian counterpart Scott Morrison and US President Joe Biden, with a vision for a safer and more secure Indo-Pacific. The first project of AUKUS will be to help Australia acquire a nuclear-powered conventionally armed submarine fleet. The three heads of state reaffirmed their intention to continue to work with their allies and groupings in tandem with AUKUS, with the Quad being mentioned by Morrison and Biden. The Quad leaders, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Japanese PM Yoshihide Suga, Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison and US President Joe Biden will meet at the White House on the 25th of this month.
China has congratulated the new interim Taliban government in Afghanistan in a major boost to the latter's efforts to gain international recognition for its hardline government. Taliban spokesman Mohammad Naeem said in a tweet that China's ambassador in Kabul, Wang Yu, met acting Afghan Foreign Minister Amir Khan Muttaqi on Tuesday and congratulated the new Afghan government. Wang told Muttaqi China respects the sovereignty, independence and territorial integrity of Afghanistan and supports the Afghan people to choose their own development path. Back home, many parts of Uttar Pradesh are experiencing heavy rain from over the last 24 hours. The normal life has been disrupted badly due to continuous rain. More from our correspondent.
At least 40 districts, including state capital Lucknow, are witnessing torrential rain with gusty winds from last evening. The continuous rain disrupted the road traffic and power supply badly, and many pockets are experiencing power cuts. Streets and intersections are waterlogged and many underpasses are submerged with rainwater. Accidents happen due to fall of trees and walls, and few people are reported to be killed also in these accidents. In state capital Lucknow, many colonies are waterlogged and municipal corporation is working 24/7 to clear the water. J.P. Gupta, the director of meteorological department in Lucknow, said that the present condition will continue for next 2 days and some places can experience very heavy rain in the coming 24 hours. Sushil Chandra Tiwari, AIR News, Lucknow.
Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for today. National capital Delhi will have a generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. The city recorded 26 degrees Celsius as minimum temperature, while the maximum will be around 32 degrees. Mumbai will have a generally cloudy sky with light rain. Minimum and maximum temperature hover between 26 and 31 degrees. Chennai is likely to have a generally cloudy sky with light rain. Temperature will vary between 26 and 36 degrees. Kolkata will have a generally cloudy sky with a few spells of rain or thunder showers. Minimum temperature in the city was 26 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around 29 degrees. Hyderabad is expected to have a generally cloudy sky with light rain. Minimum temperature was 23 degrees. Maximum may go up to 32. Bengaluru is also expected to have a generally cloudy sky with light rain. Temperature will hover between 20 and 30 degrees. Guwahati may have a generally cloudy sky with a few spells of rain or thunder showers. Minimum temperature was 25 degrees. Maximum will be around 34. Imphal is likely to have a generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. The minimum temperature was recorded at 21 degrees. Maximum will be around 29. Shillong may have a generally cloudy sky with a few spells of rain or thunder showers. Temperature will move from minimum of 17 to a maximum of 26. Aizawl is predicted to have a generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. Minimum temperature was 19. Maximum will be nearly 28. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates new defence complexes in the national capital, says new defence complexes stand for New India. A 2-day meeting of GST Council begins in Lucknow today. President Ramnath Kovind arrives in Himachal Pradesh on a 4-day visit. Gujarat Chief Minister Bhupendra Patel expands his cabinet. 21st meeting of SCO Council of Heads of State to be held in Tajikistan tomorrow. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to address the plenary session of the summit virtually. India administers over 76 crore 57 lakh doses of COVID-19 vaccine. Recovery rate stands at 97.64%. Air India receives financial bids for disinvestment, and US, UK and Australia announce formation of AUKUS, a new trilateral security partnership for Indo-Pacific region. And with that, we end the midday news.